Welcome to Brooklands on what has turned out to be a rather damp Sunbeam 100 anniversary. Brooklands is hosting the one major event for the Sunbeam Motor Club, which is primarily aimed at motorcycles pre-Second World War. We've also had the closing of the M25 motorway just to add things, make it a little bit more difficult, but as you will see during the day, it hasn't stopped the enthusiasts coming here and getting their machines out to exercise. Hopefully the sun's going to come out a little bit later. We finally tracked down the president of Sunbeam Motor Club, who are here today. We've interviewed some of your committee, etc.
All right.
And your name is?
Baz Staple.
And how long have you been in Sunbeam Motor Club?
Oh dear, since probably 1970.
1970?
Yeah.
So you've seen a bit of change?
We have indeed, yes. During that time I've been secretary for a number of years, then chairman, and now they've decided put me out to be a president. Put me out to grass.
That's not a bad place to go, though, is it?
No, it's not. No.
So what do you think for today? That Julie and Karen and all the others have done a lot of hard work.
They certainly have done a lot of hard work, and I think it's been... Fortunately, the weather has turned up better now, and it's. I think everybody's enjoyed themselves, and a lot of good humour about and fun. So it's great. It's great, and a lot of good demonstrations of old bikes, veterans, and vintage bikes up the hill. Terrific.
So where do you think Sunbeam Motor Club's going for the next 100 years?
Well, I hope it will continue, but you never can tell, can you? We don't get as many out on our prime event, the Pioneer Run, as we did. Since COVID, we were getting 300 bikes out on the Pioneer Run, which is for bikes up to 1914. And the oldest has been 1896 and 7. Like the Emboles that are here today, but hopefully it's going to re-establish itself in numbers, because at the moment we're making a loss on the Pioneer Run, which we can not sustain forever. Quite a big loss actually, but let's hope for better times. And it's since COVID, so we're going to try and get those people that don't come anymore, to ask them why, and persuade them to come out again, and I hope we should be successful.
Well, hopefully today, shows a snapshot of what can be done.
Yeah.
Brooklands, we've been running events here since I came in about 20 years ago, and it's a great window of creativity and activity. And we do get younger people here, and that's my aim, because if you can get some younger people, I'm quite encouraged. A handful of younger people riding the bikes today, by say younger, under 60, if I can say that.
That is definitely very young. But on the other hand, we had last year we had 17 totally new riders out, so it's not all bad news. And certainly today we've had a very extremely good show of veteran bikes, and I hope this will give a bit of incentive for more people to come for the Pioneer Run in October.
Well, on behalf of the museum and the motorcycle team at Brooklands, thank you very much for coming. And hopefully, as I said to Julie, we might see you next year. Would you think of coming again?
That's a good idea. And I think the club must thank Brooklands for putting on a good show for us, and it's much appreciated. Thank you.
Well, she's done all the hard work. We've just enjoyed the day.
Right. Anyway, nice to see you, and all the best.
Thank you. And I'm going to talk to the lady who is responsible for us all being here. I think is a fair understanding. We're actually at the Sunbeam 100, which is the Sunbeam Motor Club, which is 100 years old, not today but this year, and it's been hosted at Brooklands, and this lady, who is
Julie Diplock,
is responsible for all the hard work with a lot of other people, and had the imagination, if I can say that, to do a lot of, I was going to say man hours, but people hours, let's get it politically correct, in organising these people. The only mistake she's made, she didn't get the weather right.
And the M25 closure, of course. Yeah.
So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I've been motorcycling. I got my licence at 17, and I've never not had a bike since. So.
Is that a couple of years ago?
Yeah, only about 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
So what sort of motorcycles have you ridden?
Well, as I've got more into bikes, I've been going older. So my oldest motorcycle is a 1912 Douglas, fore and aft. And I've come today, I brought up my Scott and my 1932 Norton International.
Well, you've got a Scott, at least that's from Yorkshire, if nothing else.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Sunbeam Motor Club, what it is, and what's its raison d'etre, etc.
Well, the club was founded in 1924, and for the first year it was for Sunbeam motorcycles only. And then after the first year, they decided to accept all makes of motorcycle, but they never changed the club name. So a lot of people labour under the misapprehension it's for Sunbeams only, but it's not. All makes of pre-World War II motorcycles are welcome. At the outset, the club is a sporting club and arranged a lot of trials and reliability tests, etc., and also had a good tie-in with Brooklands. My colleague Anise has been doing a lot of research on that. She's not there. And and I think when you look around the trophy cupboards here at Brooklands, you will find the name Sunbeam appears a lot on a lot of the motorcyclist ones. Yep.
And today, how many members have you got, etc.?
We've got about 600 members, so we're not a big club, but our main raison d'etre is we maintain the Pioneer Register for the pre-World War I machines that are eligible to compete in the Pioneer Run, which is held once a year, and this year's on the 6th of October, running from London to Brighton, or Brighton Airport as is now. Yeah.
So it's not to be confused with the RSC London to Brighton.
Absolutely, yes, because that is basically a car run, and I think in the last 5 or 6 years they've started taking on motorcycles, but not but only in the last.
I rode it last year.
I know you did, yes. yeah.
But
The interesting thing is the Dreadnought that you rode, that actually competed in the very first pioneer run, the very first, which was from Croydon Airport to Brighton, and that was in 1930, the first pioneer run, and the Dreadnought was there, and I think it was ridden by a Mr. Brough, a certain Mr. Brough. So.
It could have been, because Oily Carslake, who was the original owner, actually was the development engineer for Brough.
Yeah, so it's had a long association with the pioneer on the Dreadnought, and it's super to have it here today. Absolutely super.
Well, it's also it was the first bike with Oily Carslake in to do the London to Edinburgh in less than 24 hours, which is an amazing feat.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So, and today, what sort of offering do you give to your members? I mean, similar to what you were doing way back, or do you do different things other than the pioneer run?
Oh, I see. Well, obviously, as times moved on, when the club started in 1924, all of these machines were modern machines. However, not anymore. So obviously, it's a club for old motorcycles now.
And your cut-off date now is like Second World War?
Yeah. Pre-1940, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We do have a small trials element, but that has dwindled over the years. But we have a couple of trials, the Southern Experts and I think the Jack Thompson trial, which are run on our behalf by modern trials clubs.
So you're not affiliated to the ACU anymore?
We are affiliated to the ACU, and we do have club members that ride using our ACU affiliation. We're absolutely knocked out by the support we've had because the weather's pretty dismal and we've had the M25 closures, but super turnout of bikes here. Really pleased with it.
So you haven't had many no-shows then, have you?
No, I don't think we have. I haven't had a chance to review the paperwork, but looking at it, there's not many gaps here. So, yeah.
Well, can I thank you on behalf of Brooklands Museum and Brooklands Motorcycle Team.
Really grateful to Brooklands for hosting us and also for having the test hill open and the demonstration area open. It's just perfect, absolutely perfect. And of course, in every cloud is a silver lining. So yes, the visitor numbers are decimated by the weather and the M25 closure, but it's the right crowd and no crowding here today. Fantastic.
Yes, well, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Right, and now I've got somebody else who is responsible for us being here today. It's a great responsibility, this, and you are?
Catherine Hook.
So, Catherine, I understand you are the other 50% of the senior administration and hard-working group of ladies that has made this happen.
I would say Julie was 75 and I'm 25%. Julie's done the bulk of the work on this project. It's been immense for her.
Yeah, these events take a lot of people. Yes. And not just a single person, and it's really nice to have you here. So where's your interest in motorbikes then?
I've ridden bikes since I can first remember. My great-grandmother was the first lady in our village to ride a motorcycle back in 1923. So I think it's in my genes. I love anything to do with motor engineering. Brought up on a farm, lots of farm machinery. Father rode bikes. All my uncles rode bikes. We're trying to trace a 1929 Norton at the moment. Just love, especially the veterans, just love the way they work.
But I understand you ride modern bikes.
Yes, I do. I ride a modern bike, a Honda, and I've also got a very, very small collection of 1960s bikes. That although Julie's been, you know, the head of it all, and I've helped her, I've been her sort of right-hand woman, I will say there's a lot of people behind the scenes that Joe Public don't see, that what's actually going on. Like with Brooklands, there's so much happening. We have people behind me that have helped, volunteers that have come out to make sure we've got marshals, and yeah.
It's frightening, you see, because we hear a lot these days about mental health and the lack, you know, the problems that people have got. I think if they got involved in some things like this, if they're interested, it's it's a solution to not getting a problem with mental health.
Yeah, quite agree. Get out there, get involved, and do it. Sitting at home, dwelling on something is not going to help anybody. And the Sunbeam Club and other like-minded bike clubs are all the same. They're very friendly. Everybody here today, I know I have. I hope they've had a good time.
I think that, and I thank you for all the work that you've done on behalf of the museum and the motorcycle team at the museum.
But thank you for letting us come here and let us use your playground.
Yeah. Well, you're not supposed to say that. No,
sorry.
Not a playground. This is serious.
The Centurion.